This is Level Up Success Podcast with Neff and Truth.
Hey, how you doing, friends and family? This is the Level Up
Success Podcast.
and welcome to another episode where we always try to bring knowledge and power to our listener. So tell me, Nate, how we gonna start this now?
Hey, how you guys doing today, man? I hope you guys are having a wonderful time. We certainly are here. And I'm excited about this segment today. So like today we're gonna talk about the author of this book right here, the Madhouse Diaries. And like before we engage in that, let's talk a bit about what got her there, and we're gonna just have an introduction, and then we're gonna get to the book. All right, guys. So why don't you give us your name and where you're from?
My name is DeVeatrice Bryant. My friends call me Dee Dee. I'm from Harlem.
Yes.
I was born in Mount Sinai Hospital, so I am a true Harlemite.
All right. What part of Harlem?
El Barrio.
El Barrio. All right.
116th Street in Lexington.
All right.
La Maqueta.
I got friends from there too. Wow.
Yeah, I bet it was a diverse place,
Yes,
on
very
that time.
very much so. Black Puerto Rican.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what is it that you do?
I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I'm a playwright. I'm a writer. I'm a professional chef.
Okay.
A case manager, a singer, a songwriter,
Okay.
a candle maker.
All right. Yo, a bunch of accolades, man.
That's why
what's
you
up.
go entrepreneur.
Yeah,
you
that's
gotta
it
be
right
able
there.
to do everything. So
Yeah,
that's fire. I
Not
like
many
that.
streams of income right there. That's awesome.
See, that's how we gotta think. Like,
Yeah.
there's always many ways to make money. And yeah.
So why don't you talk to us about like how do you get to this point? Like how do you get to the point where you wanted to become an entrepreneur?
I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. When I went to college, I took business administration because I wanted my own business. I always knew I didn't want to work for anyone.
Yeah.
However, life, bills have to be paid.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've had a career working for other people, but I always had something else going on at the
On
same
side.
time.
Okay, cool.
Some business. I was at work selling stuff to my coworkers from 99-cent store or whatever. I always had
You always had some type of side hustle, right?
yeah, flea markets on the weekends,
Okay.
foods, food sales or whatever. It was always something else other than just going to work every day because my passion is to
Yeah.
do what I want to do on my
Okay.
own.
That's
It's
pretty
freedom.
Dope. That's pretty dope. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So it had to start somewhere for you. So I know that you said from college, but from before that, do you ever had that knack? Like, you know what, man, I do wanna own something one day, or like as a kid or anything like that.
I think I was born with the passion
Yeah.
because even in as early as first grade, when they would
Okay.
have a cake sale, I would sell out all the cakes.
Okay. Yeah.
Like run people down the hall or the teachers or whatever, and I would sell everything on the table. So I knew it was a gift
Okay.
all the way back then. And over time, you nourish your gifts and you get better at it.
All right. So you did share with us just now that you were also like a caseworker.
Yes.
So, can you walk through how, how do you get that started and what went on from there?
I sort of let's go back to being in El Barrio. I think my first job in that area of social services was the Youth Action Program.
Yeah. Okay.
I used to work the hotlines for people that were thinking about committing suicide.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I started there, and it just transitioned, and it took a big chunk of years in that arena
Okay.
until I got to the point where I was burnt out.
Okay. From work. Yeah.
Yeah, I was burnt out because you're constantly just absorbing other people's problems all day.
Yeah.
And I'm good at fixing other people's problems. However, in that type of career, you have to take a break.
Yeah.
And diffuse.
No, that makes sense. I actually have a friend of mine that he did that as well. He take those highlights and there were points that he would tell me like, man, look, at first, you know, like, because I knew the type of person he was. Like, he was always like driven. You know, nothing could phase him on what he wants to do mentally. But he was like, look, man, after so many, you know, like, people talking about how they want to commit suicide and the way that they describe it, it's not like it's the same story, but yet it's different as well. So it's like, man, like, this is how this person wants to, you know. So you know, like, obviously he wouldn't tell me this details because that's disclosure. But I saw that he became somebody who was, you know, like, stressed.
Right.
And he had to leave that job. He had to. It was like, bro, I need a break from this because, you know, even though I'm saying, like, you know, like, listen to this constantly, you know? So it's like the law of attraction, you know, like he's
You're drawing it to yourself. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's deep, man. So, all right, so then you say you took a break. So what happened afterwards?
I didn't really take a break. What I did was I went from that, and a week later, I started a catering business.
Okay, wow, yeah.
Just like that.
Fast.
But
because when you have many things that you're good at, it's not a long time that you have to figure out what you're going to do next. You just have to pick from one of the other things that you're good at.
Yeah.
But while you was doing the thing with the caseworker, did you have in mind in the future to do like a bakery thing or to cook?
I was always cooking anyway, but I wasn't being paid to do it. So I took myself from being paid doing this to now I'm going to get paid cooking.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
True hustler right there, bro. Like, yeah, like.
I mean, if I'm cooking, I might as well get paid for it.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
how you say it. That's a mentality. Yeah, because it's like how people
awesome.
cook and they don't even think that way. So, that's knowledge for people.
Okay, so then you started cooking. How did that go for you?
Wonderful. I am a phenomenal cook.
Okay.
I really am.
What's your best dish?
Soul food, Spanish food, Jamaican food, African food,
hungry right now.
Italian food.
Yeah.
I can cook anything pretty much.
All right, good, man. We gotta set up a date where we could.
So
we could just try your food real
sample
quick.
everything.
That's dope. I just went to. It's off topic, but I just went to a trip to Jamaica not too long ago. Man, I can't get enough of that jerk chicken, man. I can't.
I got you. Don't worry.
She got me. So
all right, she got me. All right, let's see. All right, so you still doing that?
No.
Okay. All right, so
sometimes, let me not exaggerate. Sometimes.
Yeah.
For special clients, you know, if someone
the talent's there, so
somebody I like is getting married or a birthday party or whatever, but it's not
consistent as before. Okay, that's cool.
Exactly.
So what else? What happened after that? Like, you know.
After the catering?
Yeah.
I wrote a play.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So from catering to a play,
wait, hold on. I gotta ask a question. My bad. I gotta ask a question.
Go.
Like, what sign are you? Can I ask that?
I'm an Aries.
Aries? Okay.
I'm the head sign. Numero uno.
All right. So you always.
So it makes sense now, right?
Yeah. No, I have to ask because, you know, like the way that you're transitioning to one thing or another, it just shows that you're just proud and you're confident and you just want to move forward to the next journey.
Right.
Which a lot of people don't have that ability. So that's awesome.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
What sign are you?
Me, I'm Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, my daughter. Okay.
Yeah, one of those silent types, you know.
Pisces. Oh, that's how you say Pisces?
Yeah, Pisces, yeah.
I messed up my one. I'm not good with those sign things. Well, yeah, Pisces.
Okay, the two fish.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, cool. So that's awesome. So yeah, you was asking the question?
No. Like I say, like, not too many people will go to caseworker to bakery because it's a big step. And one thing that we do talk about is that people kind of scared to do a big change. And because it's not even similar from casework to bakery. So when you first started, do you have like a step or do you have already an idea how it will go, the business?
Nope. I think it's just part of my personality.
You're not scared. You're like... Driven, yeah, the right word.
That's how I live life. That's how I live life. You know, some people see it as crazy. Some people think it's a good thing. Some people admire it.
Yeah.
But you can't operate from a place of fear. If you
Yes.
try to figure out all the details of what you're doing all the time, you won't do anything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's the main reason that people stop doing what they dream because they look at the detail.
Yeah.
What I need to do this, I need to do that. I don't
You
know if I
ever
could do-
heard the devil is in the details? That saying when people say that?
I haven't heard
The
that
The
one.
did that
devil's in the
quote.
details.
I haven't heard that one.
The
Well,
devil
that's
is in the details. When you start, well, I don't know how we can, all of that makes you say, you forget it.
Yeah, it
So
makes you
sometimes
doubt.
you just got to go and figure out the details on the route, on the journey.
See, that's the best thing that people could do because I know people that want to do stuff and they won't do it because they're scared.
Right.
The
Certain
smallest
details,
detail because
yeah.
you got to do a couple of steps. Like, it's going to be hard first, like you said, but you got to figure it out.
It's called fear of the unknown. And how are you going to be afraid of something that you
You don't know
never
about.
even tried?
Yeah, but then what's worse is when you don't try it. Now the remorse that comes in afterwards.
But think
That's
about
what makes
this.
it worse.
Yeah.
Think about this. Think about this. If you went a certain way and something bad happened, then it would make sense you would be afraid to go that way again. You say, no, it's danger over there, right? But if you've never been over there, what are you scared of? Nothing happened to you.
Nothing
Just
has
go.
happened. Yeah, yeah.
Just
See,
go.
Not too many people see it that way. That's the issue that we have, but I love that.
No, but that's what we have to change. That's why we're here. Like we do believe that, you know, like if
Right.
you want to try something, just try it out. Just give
What's
it a
the
try.
worst that can happen?
You gotta know.
Or fail. That's the thing. We always talk about this. Like, a lot of people are scared of failing. But the thing is, like I always say, if you go fail, can you learn from your mistake?
If you're afraid to fail, you can't accomplish anything because you won't do anything because everything could be a fail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing is guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing's guaranteed.
It's like asking a woman on a date. You don't know if she's going to say yes or no, but if you don't ask her, you definitely are not going to marry her.
Yeah, no, and
So
no, and-
you got to start
you gotta-
somewhere,
yeah,
right?
you gotta start somewhere.
You can't be scared. Be like, well, how you doing or whatever. It starts there, step by step. Next thing you know, you're marrying that person. But if you're too scared to even say hello, how do you get over there?
Yeah, no.
Fear
yeah.
stops everything in your life. You can't live in fear.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. So, what else did you do afterwards? You had anything else after the
After
poll?
the-
How did that go? Because I didn't ask you.
playbook.
Yeah, the
play?
The play.
Yes.
It went excellent. Well, I wrote a book before the play. Let me say
Okay.
that. And I did the play based off the book, the first book.
Okay, before this one.
Right.
All right.
So when you wrote that first book, did somebody give you the idea for the play? Because I don't know, most people, when they write the first book, they're not thinking, maybe I should do a play right away. So I'm thinking that will be, I mean, I like how you do stuff. Like you actually go for it.
Yeah,
And-
Well, I'm not most people. That's
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
that's the point.
That's
You
there
know,
go,
so what
yeah.
I did, I knew I couldn't put a whole entire book on stage.
Yeah.
So I downsized the story into like 6 segments, and there it was.
Made it a play. Mm-hmm. That's
Wow.
incredible right there.
And I wrote the music
Okay.
for the play,
Oh, wow.
and I sang all the songs myself because I couldn't afford to hire Patti LaBelle.
So might as well do it myself.
Exactly.
Okay, that's
Oh,
that's
wow,
pretty
that's
awesome.
the process. See, you always gotta keep on moving up. Even like some people will be just write the first book and they just be like, I did it, I'm accomplished. But there's more things you could do after you write your book.
Exactly.
And people will see that.
Wow.
So and you giving idea too to our listener too.
Yeah, no. You I mean, you could be diverse. You could do whatever it is.
It's fun
Yeah.
being diverse, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
It's like
No, I
endless
could- yeah.
possibilities. The sky is the limit. That's the way you got to look at stuff.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
definitely true. So, after the play, did you do anything else?
After the play, what was next? What did I do after the play? I may have gone back to work. I don't know.
But you still like when you was doing the playing everything else, you left the case management, right?
Yeah, I was on my own. I was straight doing catering and my play and writing.
Oh wow!
So I was kind of doing two things at the same time. I was cooking and writing. Cooking and writing.
That's nice, bro. You was just really never like once you quit. Like I got people once they quit and start doing the entrepreneur. Was it scary at first, or
Nope.
you think you would hesitate for a
I
second?
was loving it. You know how good it feels not to have someone bossing you around and telling you what to do and what time you have to be somewhere.
That was the
And
motivator.
if I didn't want to be open that day, I'm not open today. It's closed today. You see what I mean? I wouldn't do that at random because of my customers, but the freedom of knowing I could. I could go sit down when I needed a break. I can play music if I needed to feel good for a second or whatever. I could move around the way I wanted to.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question. How before you quit the case manager, how many years did you lasted working there?
All together, I
Yeah.
probably have 18 years under my belt in different arenas: housing, youth action program, Northern Manhattan, in Washington Heights, human resources. So
So that's a reason.
maybe even more years than that, but it was a lot.
No, because that's one of the reasons I asked. Because when somebody do a job for a specific job for that amount of year, they get comfortable and not even comfortable. They get used to it, I guess, and get scared to
Right.
jumping to something else because
Yeah.
not too many people are writing book,
Right.
and not too many people are trying to do plays. So,
Right.
especially when they have a job that a lot of people will say is steady or
Yeah,
great,
pay
a
well.
great 9 to 5, something like that. Or,
Yeah.
Well, you want to hear something funny? Prior to case management, I worked for Ralph Lauren, and I was
okay.
a hat model.
Okay.
I was modeling hats. So and that was very early, like
Wow.
19 years old, 20. I
Yeah.
transitioned from that into helping people and working youth action program, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Years and years of that. And then I transitioned again. So it's really always been a transition for me from the beginning. You see what I mean?
So I think that actually do help. Like when you transition around, but like I said, there's people that stay at the same position all their life, and no, I know people who've been in the same job for more than 20 years.
Yeah.
And at one point, they lose their job and they don't know what the hell they're gonna do with their life.
They get lost.
And they've been there because a part of them wants the sense of security, because it is a scary place when
Yeah.
you're on your own and you don't have that paycheck that's going to show up like clockwork.
Yeah.
However, it's no guarantee. You could stay somewhere for 25 years and someone can come along when they're ready and kick you out. So you're holding on to something that's not necessarily guaranteed.
Yeah, because it's not yours.
And I know people
Yeah,
think
no,
that
that's
way.
no, but
the
that's
sad
the truth.
part.
It's not yours, and they don't. People, a lot of people don't want to understand that the position that you're working there is not your position. At some
Right.
point in time, like somebody better is gonna come in and take your work for less money.
I
you know?
think
So.
my personality, I don't like being afraid. When I'm afraid, I start acting out.
Okay.
So that fear of, let me do everything right and show up here on time and whatever, that fear is what sends me out the door. You see?
That makes-
Because I may
yeah,
be trying to be good for a minute, but if I get where I'm feeling like pressure, like you're trying to make me, you're trying to talk to me any kind of way, or like you own
Yeah.
me, that's what I mean. I'm
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Because my favorite line is, I do have to work. I don't have to work here.
Yeah.
And I would always say that.
Okay.
And I meant it. It's like you don't get to talk to me any kind of way or boss me around because you have the power of you're providing me with a paycheck.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay? So I may stay in that same career, like doing the same thing, but it won't be at the same place. I will leave
Yeah.
because I'm not afraid of what else is going to come. Because when you're confident, you know your skills, you know your talent, you know you have several things that you're good at. You will find something else to do.
You basically got a great foundation, so then you just work off of that. Yeah, that's awesome. So let me ask you this, and this is for the viewers. How would you manage that time? So you're already working, like a 9 to 5. How do you manage the time to say, okay, I'm doing this. I have to work here because this is my bread and butter right now.
Right.
And I'm transitioning to doing, this entrepreneurship work. How do you manage that time?
You manage your time the same way you would when your boss comes and asks you, hey, can you stay late tonight? Can you do a double because Truth called out sick?
Yeah.
And even though you don't want to and you're tired, you're like, okay, because you don't want to disappoint the boss, right?
Yeah.
So don't disappoint yourself. If you have something that you want to do and want to accomplish, do the extra time until you get it done, until you have it so secure where you can just let the 9 to 5 go.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it always reminds. I don't know why I always think about H, like because he said something in one of our first episode. He says, and he heard it from somewhere, but it's a quote that we use a lot here. Is that he says you work your 9 to 5, right, and then go home, work on your 5 to 9, because eventually your 5 to 9 will become your 24/7.
Exactly.
And that's what you wanna.
Exactly.
achieve. Yeah. So. And it's great that you put yourself out there and you try different accolades. It's not like you just did one. That's what I want to do. You did different accolades to see, which one's going to fit the best.
Right.
And then, like eventually you got into, like writing this book and, like from the looks of it, man, this book is a little impactful, but we definitely gonna get into that.
Yeah.
So, what did inspire you to write the book? Let's go there.
What inspired me to write the book? I think it's a collection of all my pet peeves, things that I hate, and I mean hate, despise, maybe a better word. But instead, I didn't want to just complain about the problem.
Yeah. Okay.
I've experienced the problem. I've seen the problem from the line of work that I've done for years, doing home visits in people's homes and seeing how they interact with their children, so forth, so on. So I wanted to tell a story that shined a mirror, like put a mirror in front of some of these issues. And I guess it being in a book sugarcoats it a little bit. It eases the blow because people are sensitive.
Yeah, that's something.
And if
that
you tell them straight out, what you're doing is not cool, they get offended.
Yeah.
So you put it in a story and you hand it to them and you let them read it for themselves in the privacy of their own home, quiet. And there's things in there that will jump off. And if they want to progress and be better than they are, they'll see those things that are there. And if they want to stay stuck where they are, then they won't see it and they'll miss the whole point. And they'll just say, oh, this was a good story. Okay, bye. So it all depends on the reader.
Yeah.
So most of the story that you got from here, sorry to interrupt, so it was inspired by all the things that you seen and through not just the job, but through life too, right?
Exactly. It's fiction. Like I put in the beginning, it's fiction, but it's rooted in truth because these are real issues.
Yeah.
These are real issues that happen in our diaspora between our communities and how we interact with each other as people, parents and children, men, female, whatever. So it's real live issues, but the story itself is fiction.
I mean, it's good because now people could relate to it since it happened a little bit of truth and it's similar to stuff that happened to your life. But
right.
No, I'm sorry. You was going to say something?
No. Go ahead.
Oh,
Continue.
no.
Go ahead. Take the floor, man.
No, I like that. But writing about your experience and then that you seen, it's going to help out. I know it's going to impact somebody.
It
like,
is.
I feel like some of the episodes that we did, even though it's only been like, what, 10?
Right.
I feel like we already impact a couple of people.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Because I watch your show and very good stuff. Very good
Oh,
stuff.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
I really do. So that means you gotta subscribe and follow. So, but like I say, the same way I feel like we impacting people, I know that you have done impact. And I wouldn't be surprised that you got story. Or I've been told that how much your story helped them out in a way. I'm guessing.
Wow.
So let me ask you this: what, like, in your opinion, right? What makes people sensitive?
What makes people sensitive? People are sensitive because hit dogs will holler. So sensitivity is basically, I just happen to poke something that's true, that's an issue for you. Because if I bring up something that has nothing to do with you, it's not going to affect you. You won't be sensitive.
Exactly, yeah.
Right?
No, and I agree with you because a lot of times, you know, like I'll have a conversation with somebody and, you know, I might say something that triggers them.
Right, it's a trigger.
It's like a trigger, but then they don't want to tell you what it is that got you triggered.
Right.
So now you're not even bonding at some point in time because you said something that triggered them.
Right.
But you as a person, you don't understand what it is because you're not living whatever it is that the other person is living through.
But you know why?
Yeah.
It's easier to blame other people than to do the work because it's a lot of work to do the work.
Yeah.
To dig through how did you arrive at feeling like you feel about whatever you feel.
Yeah.
You know? So it's easier for me to say, you hurt my feelings when you said that. When I should be asking myself, why did I allow him to make me feel a certain way about myself? Who the hell is he?
Especially when the intent is not there.
Right.
Because it's another thing if somebody has malicious intent and they say something now, it's different. But sometimes people are saying, you know, like they could say something as a joke or, you know, or they could just have a regular conversation and then all of a sudden, you know, now they got triggered. So now the person could decide whether to apologize or to stand his ground, which, you know, that's a whole other, segment right there. But yeah, no, it happens though. It does happen. It's crazy.
I know, it is when you talk the truth. It's like the movie. You can't handle the truth. Something which movie is that?
Right. You can't handle the truth. Exactly. I want the truth.
A lot of people cannot handle the truth. But that's part of life too.
And that is because the truth hurts. That little saying, those little things that our grandmothers told us, like the truth hurts, that is true. The truth does hurt. However, when you stand in the truth, it may hurt for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But once you stand in the truth, the reward from standing in that truth and accepting that little bit of hurt, from that point on, it's like, whew, it's like being on vacation.
Yeah.
But when you don't stand in the truth, you spend the rest of your life covering up stuff, dressing up mess. And this is how I can explain it simply. I tell people, I'll use the word poop instead of the other word, but poop is poop, right?
Yeah.
So if I give you poop on a paper plate and I just hand it to you, you're going to say, Because you can see right there clearly what that is, right? And it smells and everything, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's covered, but I don't know yet. But I don't want to know. I don't want to open that cover.
When I give him the same exact thing that I gave you, I'm giving it to both of you. The difference is I put yours in a nice fancy box. I put Febreze, some perfume, a ribbon. So I hand it to you, and you willingly accept it because it looks pretty. But it's still poop. Poop is poop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So even when people have a lot of poop, they think because they dressed it up, fixed it up, and made it look fancy. You see? Some people will dress it up with buying a nice car.
Yeah.
Their clothes or, how they do their hair or whatever. And they think that covers up all of the mess.
Yeah,
that they got going on, but it's there. It's still there, and you may have it masked it really well, but it's there. So that's why I said the important thing is to fix it. Stand in the truth. Figure out what work you need to do for yourself to be healed.
Yeah,
and not just covering up mess. Because no matter how much Febreze I put on crap, it's
It's
gonna
still poop.
it's gonna smell.
Yeah, definitely
He
gonna-
may discover it faster because I gave it to him raw, like on a plate.
Yeah.
You think you got a special gift, and it's eventually in your closet, it's gonna smell up everything, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So all right. So let's talk about the book. So what is the book about?
The book is about how I see our community. And how I see our community, I tucked it into a nice story. If it's okay, I'm going to read a poem to you. It's called Harlem Is, and it will sort of give you the foundation and the environment to put you in the mindset before we get into details of the story.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the visual is what I want you to get of what this place looks like, in case
Okay.
you people
No,
have
definitely.
not been to Harlem.
Read along with you.
Okay,
Page nine.
right in the beginning, right there.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Page 8.
I am a Harlemite, and through my eyes, Harlem is. Harlem is church on Sunday mornings with some loud music playing on the side. Harlem is the place where many don't run free. Harlem is in my blood. It's what ignites the fire in me. Harlem is the place that few are bored. Harlem is the place you can see the stories while finding what you're shopping for, books and poets. I don't want to hear it because I already know it. Harlem is Marcus Garvey Park. It's unspoken words after dark. Harlem is music and art. Sweet street dancers looking for a start. Collard greens and black-eyed peas so often cooking in our pots. It's the pecking order of who is important and who is not. Harlem is 125th Street where every train and bus in the city stops. It's a tourist attraction, a visceral reaction, opinions and gossip, the home of the hustler, tank tops and lots of muscles. Harlem is a vibe. It's African garb and Rasta man with the best Irish moss, a grand sense of pride that can get you killed or sent upstate over a $5 bill. It's big earrings and big scarves. It's America's top chef selling the tastiest food right on the sidewalks. Harlem is small talk and big conversation. It's the core of every Harlemite's education. If you can't afford something, you can find an imitation. Harlem is the place that probes curiosity, virtuosity, where dreams come true and dreams can be lost. It's a nasty attitude when gentrifiers arrive. The raising of rents, forcing many residents to sleep on a park bench. Harlem is the unforgiving streets of greed and thirst. Our young brothers and sisters carried away in a hearse, where some have built their wealth and fame and some earned a street sign with their name. Harlem is the oversaturation of the NYPD, only present on certain streets whose faces are unfamiliar to all, and so many residents afraid to make a 911 call. So many relying on the steel to handle their squabbles. Children playing adult games instead of tossing marbles. It's pork rinds and vegetarians. It's Cadillac pastors and the judgmental Presbyterians. It's bus rides to Washington, D.C., Atlantic City, and amusement parks. It's profiling across the street after dark. It's my mother wondering when her number is going to hit. It's wondering if we can buy just a little bit of it. It's flipping 50 cents into $1. It's OGs rocking Playboys and mock neck sweaters. Friday night fish fry signs posted over the mailboxes. The sounds of babies crying in the halls. Some are just cranky and some haven't eaten at all. Some people have already left and some people are staying. But if you ever taste a piece of Harlem, it will forever remain on your palate.
Oh, wow. Nice.
That was pretty dope.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
I mean, that's too many people. For what I see in books, start a book with a rhyme. What was the process, or what make you want to do a poem before even starting this book?
Because my intention is for this book to go to the masses, and I know the masses have not been to Harlem. So if you're all the way in Idaho, South Dakota, the Dominican Republic, wherever you are,
Yeah.
that's where I start you at so that you can go there visually in your mind.
Wow.
Because now you know what it looks like.
That's pretty dope. That's
So
pretty
when she
dope.
starts talking and she starts writing in her notebooks and you're reading it, you know where she is because that
And
poem told you.
When you say she, who are you referring to?
The main character, Shawnice Patricia Jackson.
So the point of view that you write this book is it's like a diary of the person. It's like a
It's a collection of Shawnice Patricia Jackson's notebooks.
oh, okay.
So it takes you from the first notebook to the second notebook to the third notebook. These are her journals.
Oh wow. So that's another way of writing. See, that's
No, that's just an artistic way of doing it, you know. And thank you for sharing. So I mean, it does bring a question in mind. So my question is, what is it like? What wasn't like growing in your community like before versus what it is now? Because you're still staying in Harlem right now, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, what's the do you see any differences?
I would say the difference is I don't feel the same sense of community the way it was when I was growing up.
Yeah.
It was more of a sense of a community, you know, neighbors looking out for each other. One person picking up all the kids from school and walking them back to the, to the neighborhood or whatever. I don't see it. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I just don't see it.
Yeah, no, we don't see it. And
I see a lot more separation.
Even me, as I was growing up, we as a kid, I would see people wanting to gather up, whether it's like borrow sugar.
Right.
Or doing certain favors, because everybody worked together within this community.
Right.
We don't see that. I don't see that either. Like, do you see that?
nah. I think it's the way. As I can say, in New York, people move so fast they forget about their own community. They just
Right.
thinking one way, and you know what? They forget about. They focus on the thing they want to do. They forget about the community sometimes.
Right.
I think.
Right.
I mean,
And
okay, go ahead.
No. And by doing that, they forget that you also need part of your community. So, like, it's good that you want to get out of your community, do good, but you also got to remember where you come from
Exactly.
and be there for your community,
be a
too.
contributor of the community. I mean, I'm in the opinion that it's more social media, since everybody knows how everybody's doing, with their status and stuff.
So
they're
they
focusing more on
think.
that. No, I know exactly. They're focusing more on who to get. Who to reach out to online, or just see the stories and say, okay, well, I did my due diligence and knowing how, my Instagram community is doing, rather than how my neighbor's doing.
It's a blessing and a curse at the same time, right?
It definitely is.
Yeah, because there's pros and cons to everything. It's social media. I mean, you
Right.
could use social media for a good thing, but not so many.
What we doing here?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Helping our community, but
Right.
there's people that just use. I'm not. I can't be careful how I say it, but there's people that show how good they doing when they're not even living that life. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Just to say you
Right.
better. Like this-
Exactly.
We live in a community. We trying to impress rather than actually trying to work.
yeah, I was trying to write.
And that's
yeah.
a good
Yeah.
point.
I was
that
trying
you-
to use
that
the right
you
word.
make. That's a very good point. And where did we get that mindset from? That's why I wrote. That's one of the reasons I wrote this
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
Where do all these things that affect our community? Where do they come from? Where did it start?
Yeah.
Because we got to get to the root
In order
to figure out how to fix the problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
You got to
we
go
do.
inside the wall to find out where the leak is, or why the wire is disconnected. You got to sometimes break the wall down and go digging a little deeper.
Yeah.